If you're familiar with the brand Steps to Success, then you know the way I believe in giving advice is through my own life experience. The same is true with this guide. I will take you on a trip through my personal use of intangible assets through my journey of success thus far. The examples that I share are not to be exactly replicated or taken as the gospel. Instead, use the information you gain in this guide as a reference point. Like you're copying a picture I've already drawn, but you're going to add your own color to it. Let's start with the main component. Chapter 1, Love. Love. Noun. An intense feeling of deep affection. A great interest and pleasure in something. Wars have been started, families have been created, and lives have changed permanently. All over this intense feeling we refer to as love. Back in 2016, in my freshman year of college, is where I found my first romantic love. We stayed together for 4.5 years. Looking back, the moment I met her, life as I knew it permanently changed. We planned on starting a family together, and if anyone bothered her, it was going to be World War III. Today, we no longer speak. This, however, is a stark contrast to my second love. We met about 2 years into my long-term relationship, and we have been by each other's side ever since. Her name is Legacy, and without my love of Legacy, you and I would not be able to share this moment. What is love if not a 4-letter word? My first love was my first real relationship, and we both had no clue what boundaries were and what taking it slow meant. So, we wanted to be around each other all the time, and that's what it developed into. Her and I, every day. Great, right? Until 4 years pass by, you grow apart, and one day the person you spent every day of your life with for 4 years suddenly lives all the way across the country, and you're still in the condo where you all created so many memories. When that happens, reality slaps you in the face, and you realize you have no friends, social circle, or social life because your first love was your everything. Literally. That was a dark patch. But the light came when I realized I did have something. Though I couldn't touch it, measure it, or fully comprehend how important it was, I knew I had love for my legacy. So you could sit back, relax, reminisce about how you was this and did that, but it's less about what you did, more about who you is and how you impacting these kids. How you impacting these kids? Get stepping. Get stepping. Get stepping, cause it's less about what you did, more about who you is and how you impacting these kids. More about who you is and how you impacting these kids. Yeah, that's the one right there. Until next time, as always, get stepping, get stepping, get stepping, get stepping. And welcome to another episode of Steps to Success Season 2, Loving the Journey. You just got finished listening to an excerpt from the Intangibles, Chapter 1, Love. And if you enjoyed listening to that excerpt and would like to learn more about how my first relationship and my first love impacted my journey of success, definitely click the link in the description and order your copy of the Intangibles, either through audio or hardback or paperback. Go ahead and order that today and read Chapter 1, Love, where I go into great detail. But today, I would like to actually share with you how I got through the breakup and how I moved on to another chapter of life. But before we move into that, first we'd like to share with you where we're at today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know you see the beautiful views. It's very beautiful out here. And today we are at Shadow Mountain Peak Trail. And if you're confused on what you're looking at on your screen right now, this is All Trails. And All Trails is not sponsoring this channel, but if they want to hit the big man up, you know what I'm saying, we can make something happen. We'll see. But that being said, Shadow Mountain Peak Trail is where we're at today. The length is 1 mile. It's estimated to be 39 minutes. It usually takes me half the time, sometimes a little less than half the time that they have as the average time on here. So let's go ahead and click into it. All right. Now we have the explanation about the mile. As you see, the length is 1 mile. The elevation is 354 feet. and the route type is a loop. And again, this is information about the mountain. So the route type is a loop is what they have, but as you see when you look in the map, it's not quite a loop, right? But you can see the elevation gain. So as you see, we're about right up in here right now, and you see at the bottom of the screen, it says elevation and it's slowly going up. So it tells you the grade, how steep it is. It gets really steep in this little section up in there, 52%, that's very steep. But at the top, as you can see, the highest point is 1,911 feet. Pretty steep because you get there very quick. So as you go down, and we can read a review from Mandalay. It's a quick summit and quite the heart pounder, but because it's quick, it's doable. Warning to those that have bad knees or ankles, it's rocky, be sure-footed. Very true, very true. All right, and if you like to, look at more of things like this, then hit up All Trails and tell them to sponsor my videos. All right, guys, before I explain to you why I have, about how I moved on and about how I got through my breakup with my first love, I first want to share with you why this is even important and why it's important in your own life, right? No matter your background or your backstory, all of us have one thing typically in common, and that's we've all experienced a first romantic love. And unless you guys are still together, then you've experienced a first romantic breakup. And like I know, during that time, you are at most danger of losing yourself. During my breakup, it was the closest I've ever came, second to quitting college football, to losing myself. Because when you are in a relationship, your other half is your other half, literally your other identity. And when it's that serious far as a romantic point of view, then when they leave, you're losing part of yourself. And learning how to be who you are without them around is a journey. It is a journey within itself. So today I would just like to share with you my journey and how I got through the breakup, because, again, for me, it was a loss of identity. And there's really no words that can describe what that feels like, but I'll do my best to paint a picture for you. So for starters, I let my first love have my dog, my little mans. He was way more than a dog. He was family. And he's still in my heart, still in my mind. But me giving him away basically has given me a new perspective, because, again, my dogs are like children. So, since I haven't spoken with her and, we haven't been in contact, I haven't seen or heard from my little mans, but he always in my heart though. But anyway, to get over these things, for myself, I decided to be typical, go out partying, and it didn't last long for me, because I went out, Old Town Scottsdale, big party scene, but truthfully, I felt like an outsider looking in, even though it's a big party scene. Very, very lively out there, a lot of beautiful scenery. However, for myself, again, I felt like I was just tapping on a glass jar, looking out, looking at people have fun while I was trying to have a smile on my face, but I could barely have a smile on my face because inside I was so torn. Look, I don't want to sound like a victim though. To be truthful, I chose the life. Although at the time I didn't know what life I was choosing, but for me, being in a relationship, getting in a relationship at 18 years old, freshman year of college, I never really had the time, and it lasted until 22 years old, which is four and a half years. I never had the time to really discover myself as an adult, as a full-blown adult, without being in a relationship. And the idea of us being together forever, it really scared me. So, that being said, when you have so much love in your heart for somebody, yet you're conflicted with your, interests and your decisions, you'd never really stop loving that person. And that's something that I figured out as time has passed by. And all of that, being said, I do realize at certain times the love that she was providing was priceless. However, to be truthful, at this present moment, I do believe I made the right decision, just because when you're in a relationship and when you take relationships as serious as I do, it's no longer about you anymore. It's about we and us. So for me, this present moment, this is the first time in my adult life that I've been able to put my interests and my intentions first, and for them to be the most important thing going on in my life. And interests, you may be wondering that. See, it's the same thing that pulled me off my couch when I was completely just distressed about how abruptly things ended with the relationship. And it's also the same thing that got me out of Old Town Scottsdale on a weeknight. So that thing was my love of my legacy, my love of the journey. And it's not that I couldn't focus on that when I was in a relationship, but after being in a relationship and getting out of a relationship, I can tell you that the focus that I have towards my journey, towards my mission, towards my purpose, it's completely different. It's way more intensified, because at this moment, it's all I have from a love perspective. And, is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. Time will tell. But I can tell you this, what I want. When I was in a relationship, what I wanted is still the same in a lot of ways of what I want out of a relationship. And that's to achieve greatness, to achieve nothing less than greatness. I've always wanted to be great. So it's not that I couldn't be great in a relationship. It's just that the time that you have to put in sometimes doesn't split evenly enough for a significant other. And, if you're already on your mission, on your purpose, and you're in a relationship, then, maybe you can attest to that depending on your significant other. But, for myself, it was a matter of, being focused on my passion, but also having to make sure that I'm there to, attend to someone else's, feelings and their intentions and, what they want out of life as well. And, that can be great if you can find equilibrium there. But if not, then, it can be toxic, to say the least. So, that being said, for you and yourself and your own journey, I want to be clear. When I got out of the relationship, it wasn't like, okay, go focus on, doing your YouTube videos or go focus on building your brand. No, it wasn't like a connect the dots scenario. It was very erratic. It was everywhere, right? So my mind state was everywhere. But I want to stress this importance to you because I realized that the love of legacy is really the only option. Even from, relationship perspective, if you're someone who has a feeling that, you want to have a deeper meaning and not just exist for money's sake and not let money be your end all, but to actually make an impact, whether it be on your family or the world, or to set an example, then that deeper level of commitment will never come from romantic love. Romantic love is transitory, something that I've just observed throughout the relationships that I've seen and also for myself, but would stay the same throughout, even my relationship. When I first discovered my love of legacy is the love and that desire to be great. When I first ended that relationship and, when the dog was away, my little man's, and, stopped speaking with my ex and how, she abruptly ended things, that I was shooken. I was on the couch, going through a breakup as an entrepreneur and going through a breakup as someone who's not an entrepreneur, I feel like it's different just because my mind state, right? Being in sales, I still had to carry this energy that's light and, excited when I'm speaking with my clients. However, in my heart, I didn't feel that way. So, my business took a hit, which in turn affected my personal life. And I was really only God knows why we are here today and why we're sharing this moment, because the cards were not in my favor, to say the least. Though truthfully, I've been performing miracles in my life experience since 20 years old through my journey of entrepreneurship. So I am convinced that, I'm somewhat of an alchemist. I can take base metals and turn them into gold. I can take undesirable events and circumstances and make them into circumstances where I'm the clear winner. Now, through a different lens, through a self-sufficient lens, I can look back and say, my soul feels more free in this present moment. My vision has become more clear when it comes to my purpose in life. And also I have a new heightened sense of awareness when it comes to romantic relationships. All of that being said, I do realize that when it comes to that last relationship, that last situation, there's a lot that's left on the table there, but maybe it's better that way. So as always, guys, I appreciate you listening, but in summary, if you don't take anything away from this episode, take away these 3 things, right? First off, learn yourself. Most of the problems that occur or arise within relationships comes with 2 individuals trying to, be together when they don't really know themselves yet. So learn yourself before you really take that next step, because when you get in a relationship, what's the ultimate goal? For me, I guess for us, all of us, it's to be together forever. But forever can be, we don't know how long forever is. So just make sure that you're fulfilled in that moment. And the way you can be fulfilled is by truly knowing yourself. Second off, do you want to be great? Be true. Ask yourself this question. Do you want to be great? If the answer is yes, then life will be so much more simple. Because if you want to be great, then nothing can stand in the way of that. If you truly want to be great, and not just want to be great, but you're willing to put in the work to be great. For me, that's who I am as a person. There's a lot of things that, like I said, it goes in my mind, and I appreciate you taking a step into my mind today. But that being said, whatever happens in my mind, it can't come in the way of the ultimate purpose, and that's to achieve greatness. So if you want to be great, no matter if you go through a breakup or any kind of external circumstance, you will always do what you have to do. And not only do it, but you'll, gladly, it'll just happen naturally. You'll do what you have to do to achieve greatness. And the main thing, the main way that you'll be able to is by the third takeaway, which is having faith. You have to have faith. Faith, it's an essential ingredient on your journey of success. For me, it's the ingredient that's allowed me to achieve nothing less than miracles in my life. Several times, on countless occasions, I've achieved miracles. And I only can describe it as a miracle because on the surface, in the logical mind, certain things just wasn't supposed to work out. But they have, because there's a bigger, higher power, a higher being at work here. So have faith in that, and have faith that the universe ultimately wants good for you. So as long as you're able to be present and allow it in, then you'll be able to receive the good that's rightfully owed to you. You deserve to be great. You are worthy of greatness. You are successful in your present moment, in your present state. As long as you believe that, then the universe will start believing it as well, and then reality will start to unlock itself. As always, until next time, get to stepping.
Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Made $1 billion, impacted millions of people. Step to success, get to stepping, let's get it.